vote. How do we focus on getting them to change their mind?
The importance of getting out there and voting is because this is the way we get our voices heard, and without being accused of being violent. I'm not saying that I'm against protests, because I absolutely am not.
Right.
I'm all for peaceful protests, because that's why we have progress.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to run for judge today. Heck, I wouldn't be able to vote for judge today if it had not been for the protests. Right. So I'm all in support of that. But we have to go a step further. We can't just yell around in our communities to the people who will listen to us, or to the 20 or 30 people who will show up for a march that we want to protest this thing. We have to make our voices heard at the polls. Right now, people are out there saying some ugly things about us. They're saying some really ugly things about us. And I'll tell you, like one of my line sisters used to say all the time in undergrad, we can show them better than we can tell them. We show them by showing up at these polls.
And I also heard that it's been a record high of turnout of people turning out to vote early. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that that's incredible, and I'm hoping that whatever we have done so far in these last 2 weeks, that we will double that this week. I'm talking about not waiting until November 3rd.
Democrats didn't have a choice, and even Republicans didn't have a choice. I'm running. I have over 35 years of appellate experience. Appeals are what I do.
See.
So I'm coming with a breadth of experience to this court that is unique and different. I'm also coming with a commitment to a fairness and to looking at each case individually, but also looking at how cases go through the courts systemically. I have some particular issues with how we handle the harmless error analysis, because I think sometimes it gives license to parties to act in a way that they would not act if they actually got dinged for doing the wrong things that they're doing. So that's one of the areas in particular that I want to look at.
That is amazing, y'all. Again, I want to give information about it. How can they find you when they get out there and vote? And also, got to ask you the same thing I'm asking every candidate. Why is it so important that we vote early?
It is fundamentally important that we vote early because, number one, you don't know what's going to happen on election.
I'm hearing that from everybody.
Anything could happen that will prevent you from casting your vote. And so you want to take every opportunity to vote as early as you can.
Right.
The lines on election day are going to be much, much heavier.
Ooh.
And so you're doing a favor.
It took me, at one of the polls, it took me about 15 to 18 minutes to get to 15 to 18 minutes downtown.
Depending on where you go, it can be hours or it can be as short as 15 minutes.
I never had to wait. I never in my life had to wait. I used to go in and get out. But of course I was impressed and I was excited about it. And I actually came to vote that Monday and found out I came on Tuesday.
Well, you know, it's so
I was excited.
Yeah, it's so important that all of us are excited about voting because this is our opportunity to actually have input in how we're governed, how we're judged, what happens at the appraisal office, what happens at the tax assessor's office. There's so many things that what happens in our jails. There's so many things that are so important when it comes to voting. And what we've got to do is vote and then hold those people that we've elected accountable. And so if you vote, you have more of a tendency to hold people accountable. If I paid you for something, I want what I paid for.
That's right.
It's the same thing. If I vote, then I want to hold you accountable to what you said you were going to do and the reason why I voted for you.
Otherwise you won't get voted in.
Exactly. And so that's why it's so important that we vote and then hold people accountable to the vote that we
Do you think a lot of the local leaders have got too lazy now because they get it every year and now all of a sudden now they feel that I don't have to really worry about that now because I'm going to get voted in again.
Exactly. There is a complacency.
Well, comfort. That's what I'm saying.
There's complacency and comfort. And what ends up happening then is that they're not necessarily working for everyone.
No.
Because they're not concerned if you don't vote for them or they don't have to work for you.
A lot of them getting paid under the table.
Well, I'm not going to go there.
That's what I've been told. But I ain't going to say that.
But I know a lot of them are getting paid.
Yeah.
So, and they should be paid. And when they're paid, they should be representing everyone and
Not
not
just a
a
certain-
sliver
Yeah.
of our population. And so that's one of the reasons why it's so important that we vote and hold them accountable.
Yeah.
Things change.
I have been a civil litigator for 18 years.
Wow.
And,
18 years.
Yes, sir.
Man. So why is this election? I've been asking every person this. Why is this early voting so important?
Well, it's important because we're in the middle of a pandemic, one, and we all want to be as safe as we can. But we also want to exercise our voice, and our voice is exercised through our vote.
Amen.
And it is
That's right.
so important for everyone to go out and vote. And there's an opportunity from now until next Friday, October 30th, to get out and
vote.
exercise your voice through your vote at the early voting locations here in Tarrant County. And then, of course, Election Day is on November 3rd. There's an anticipation that the lines are going to be really long on November 3rd. So if you have an opportunity to make a plan to get out and vote early, please do it. The weather's not looking like it's going to be that great over the next couple of days, but it is so important if we want to see change in Tarrant County that you get to the voting locations and
get out there and
you
vote.
get out there and vote. Yes, sir.
But thank you. I tell you what. Thank you so much again. How can they find you on the ticket?
Well, so the judicial races are down towards the bottom of the ballot.
Okay.
And the races are marked with a Republican or a Democrat running, and you got to make your way all the way through the ballot because there's no straight ticket voting this time. So you got to go through each race, and you want to click the Democrat on every single race, and you're going to see a full slate of Democratic candidates running for judge, as well as candidates up and down the ballot, sheriff, constable, of course, our House district races, U.S. Senate.
System, making sure that we are keeping our heads straight, our heads on straight at all times, and making sure that we're keeping up with what's going on in the law and what's going on in the world, and knowing that we represent everybody.
Right.
I'm running on the Democratic platform, but representing the Republicans and the Democrats and the Independents.
So you are
and
attorney too, right?
Yes, you have to be an attorney
you gotta
to run
be
for district court judge.
Okay. See, I
Yes,
forgot.
sir.
Wait a minute. I didn't even ask you what's your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Why should people get out there and vote? Period. Let's talk about that. That's the importance. I know what the importance is, but somebody out there that's watching us right now is probably saying, I don't know if I should get out there and vote. How do we focus on getting them to change their mind?
The importance of getting out there and voting is because this is the way we get our voices heard, and without being accused of being violent. I'm not saying that I'm against protests, because I absolutely am not. I'm all for peaceful protest, because that's why we have progress.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to run for judge today. Heck, I wouldn't be able to vote for judge today if it had not been for the protest. Right. So I'm all in support of that. But we have to go a step further. We can't just yell around in our communities to the people who will listen to us, or to the 20 or 30 people who will show up for a march that we want to protest this thing. We have to make our voices heard at the polls. Right now, people are out there saying some ugly things about us. They're saying some really ugly things about us. And I'll tell you, like one of my line sisters used to say all the time in undergrad, we can show them better than we can tell them. We show them by showing up at these polls.
And I also heard that it's been a record high of turnout of people turning out to vote early. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that that's incredible, and I'm hoping that whatever we have done so far in these last 2 weeks, that we will double that this week. I'm talking about not waiting until November 3rd.
That's right.
I'm talking about us polls are open today until 4 o'clock in Texas, in Tarrant County specifically, and then all this week, Monday through Friday, from 7 8. Is it from 5 a.m.?
Yeah, I thought they say from 8 to 5.
No, this week it's extended hours.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. I didn't look at my schedule again this morning, but the polls are definitely open until 7 p.m. every single night this week, starting tomorrow, which is Monday, October 26th.
And this is airing on Monday, so they watch it.
Okay, so starting today, how about that? So starting Monday, October 26th through Friday, October 30th, polls are open until 7 p.m. So get out there. We've got to make our voices heard. We don't want to wait until November 3rd, where there are excuses as to why people couldn't get in to vote, because computers were down, the lines are too long, it's raining too hard, any kind of glitches in the system, anything. Let's get out there and show them this week and encourage everybody around you to vote.
Thank you so much for telling us. And again, if they want to vote,
Are racist.
oh yeah,
They're homophobic.
Yeah.
They're everything.
they are.
And we must vote, and I especially Donny B, want to appeal to young people.
Yeah, yeah.
This
And we got a
is
lot of young
your-
people tuning into us.
I
too.
know. This is you all's revolution. Us old folks like me and my sister Deborah, the chair of the Democratic Party, we're still out here. But
If
we
y'all-
need you to be with us
Yeah.
and get into good trouble and vote.
Let's talk about a couple weeks ago. There was a police officer. You probably seen me on the news.
Yeah, I did.
That was
Racist comment.
yeah, about on his Facebook post.
Yeah. And they took forever to fire him.
Right.
Okay?
And then when we got out there, My Justice got out there
Yeah.
and said we want this man fired.
Yeah.
4 days later, he was fired.
Exactly.
So what do you say to the
You
Fort Worth Police
young
Department?
people, well, two things. You young people accomplished that. I didn't hear any city elected officials saying anything, okay? You all did that, young people, you especially. And I say to the police, get right, and quit killing
That's right.
our people.
That's right.
And quit being racist.
What do you say to us as an African American who are continuing to murder each other?
Exactly. Stop the killing.
Stop the
Stop the killing.
That's right.
We are black, we are beautiful, we are talented, we are intelligent,
And
and
numbers
we deserve to live.
and numbers in power.
Exactly.
Numbers in power.
Exactly.
So we got less than a week before early voting is going to end. What's going to end this week, right?
Right, on Friday.
On
So
Friday.
you gotta vote this week, and then election day is November 3rd.
And I voted for you.
Thank you.
You on the, I see you on the
Thank you.
thing, and I voted for you.
Thank you.
But I want to talk to this why it's so important that we get an African American judge because
Exactly.
it's so much going on.
Right,
And
right.
the black community is they're not treating the black community fair.
At all. And you can't have everybody down there that's a member of the Tea Party or the
Yes.
Federalist Society.
Yes.
We need different views. We need diversity.
Yes.
And we need people committed to equal justice for all. I don't care if you're a rich Republican from Westover Hill or a poor black person homeless. All of us are entitled to equal justice under the law. And
That's
that's why 11 of us lawyers are running
I've seen
for
that.
judgeships
Very
in Tarrant
proud.
County.
Wow.
Most of us are out here today.
Right.
Okay?
And I want to say a shout out to Lakeisha because
She's over there talking to Deborah.
she is oh
Yeah.
my God, she
Yeah.
is doing such
Amazing.
a great job.
She is.
And we need people like her.
Right. Well,
in power.
there's Taryn Williams, Alicia Jordan, Michael Munoz, Olin Poe, Deloney
All y'all are
Watson.
on that ticket.
Exactly.
Y'all are on that flyer. I
Exactly.
seen.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this. I want you to look in that camera and
Okay.
tell people why it's so important that they get out and exercise their right to vote. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you do it.
I hate to say it, you all, but we're standing on the shoulders of giants. People.
Motivation for you.
Well, I've been an attorney for the last 20 years.
Okay.
And I was also an administrative law judge for 5 of those years. So since I was an administrative law judge, I had continued my path to wanting to be a judge.
Okay. Wow.
I felt like judges do an important thing in the community.
Yes.
Judges,
Especially for the minority and especially the African American right now. Because what's going on right now is a lot of African Americans are not being treated fairly.
and that's absolutely correct. And a lot of African Americans don't feel comfortable when they come before a dais that has completely other genres of races on the bench. So in Tarrant County, it's completely another genre, for lack of a better word. And I felt like it was time for people of color to see their representation on these benches.
Yes, and let me tell y'all, we got so many African Americans. I'm just so impressed to see not only African American, but we got a majority that's running for different judges, and I'm just so impressed with that. And so if you always been that type,
females.
and if you always been impressed and you always say, you know what, where's the people that's running for judge? Well, guess what? They right here on this show tonight, and they telling you that they're running for different judges. And we need, as a community, we need to vote the right people in office, and stop complaining about these people not doing nothing. Well, guess what? We got the right people that's running for office. We need to get them elected, and so they can do their job. That's the key word, to do their job. So we need everybody to get out there. If tomorrow you can vote tomorrow, you can vote all the way up until Friday, or you can wait in that long line on November the 3rd.
Exactly.
I mean, the line is long now, but it's not that long. But if you wait till on the day of the election, you're gonna be waiting what? How long?
Probably hours. Don't wait till the last day. Do
Yeah.
not wait till November 3rd. You never know what's going to go on with those polls. You never know what site is going to be up and
That's
running.
so true.
And you don't want to, and you don't know what the weather's going to look like.
Oh no, you sure don't. And you can tell how the weather is today.
Exactly. So where the lines are low now, come on out because you'll get out quick.
And on the last day, Sunday of early voting, we decided to do a parade to the vote.
Right. So how's that been working for you guys?
It has worked great. This year, most of the people who participated had already voted because we put forth an effort at our church to get from 70 to 80% of our membership to vote the very first day of early voting.
Wow.
And they did.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
today, they came up to support those who had not voted.
And you guys got the parade to the polls. Right?
We got someone else coming, a couple of more churches that are participating. We came up earlier with motorcycle groups.
Okay, wow.
With escort service.
So, what do you want people to know about the early voting? Why is it so important that we vote early? Let's talk about that.
It's important that we vote early because you never know what may not happen between now and election day.
Right.
You could get sick.
Yeah.
Something could happen that could prevent you. The weather may get bad.
Right.
So just put all of that aside and vote early.
Go there and get out.
And then the other thing is that on election day, we would like for there to be a clear voice from this nation.
Yes.
That
yes.
we won't have to wait days after the election
so
to see who's going to be the next leader of this nation.
Y'all heard it first right here. I want to talk to you about this real quick too. It's because I know we talk about the early voting, why that's so important. But what have you heard so far? How is it looking as far as the people go? As far as the voting, are we turning out in record numbers?
We are turning out in record numbers in Tarrant County. Tarrant County is the key county to turning we will never be able to win statewide offices unless Tarrant County comes Democratic to offset so many of our rules.
Are you surprised to see so many young people out here?
No, I'm not.
All right, now we got the motorcycle parties, a lot going on out here. As soon as they get through, we'll talk about it. It's a lot going on. It's live TV, so you never know. All right, go ahead.
One of the things, this pandemic, economic downturn, and all of the racial injustice that we suffered the past month has been a great motivator for our young people. Yeah. Those people that's been out there with you in the front line in our protest.
Yeah.
They've not just been marching, but they've registered other young people to vote. And they are delivering the vote.
Yeah.
And we praise and we thank God.
Oh yeah. And you know what? And it's so funny because my son is 14. And he's talking about, Dad, we need to get the fuck out of there. When you see a 14-year-old and a 13-year-old saying, hey, we got problems, what that telling you right there? 14,
I can do you
one
one better. Wednesday afternoon, I asked my 10-year-old grandson, did you watch the debate? He says, no, I watched the baseball game. I said, why you didn't watch the debate? He said, because I've already made my mind up about Trump. He's not a good person.
That's what my son said too. My son said the same thing. My son said, Dad, why we gotta have people like that?
Even our kids are giving us motivation to do it.
Exactly. And if we don't do it for nothing else, we need to do it for that. And also, I want to talk about this, man, because early voting started on the 13th and it ends on the 30th. And the general election is going to be on November the 3rd. So if a person don't get out there and vote now, they definitely need to vote on the 3rd of November.
Yeah.
And let me tell you another thing, the long lines are long during the early voting.
Yeah.
Because I stayed in one line for about 30 minutes on last week when I went out and voted.
Here's what you have to remember. The lines are long without early voting. It's a good thing.
Yes, yes it is.
If you've got a problem with lines, if you wait until election day, the lines are going to be
longer. Yeah,
so
right.
take advantage of it right now. Go vote.
We got over 43,000 people that tune into my show from all across the country.
Right.
What do you want to say to them?
I want to say to our young people, it's important that you vote. It's important that you get involved in this process.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody in your family died wishing they had this right.
Yeah, you sure.